Hey guys, it's Michael. Welcome back to Michael in the Morning. Today is Monday, December 14th, 2020, and this is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update as well as news report. We have a lot of exciting news to go over because we heard from President Trump from the first time in a while on the second stimulus package, and he says that he wants to include a $1,200 stimulus check in the next relief bill and get it passed before the end of this year. We also heard from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, who had an important conversation over the weekend as well. So we have a lot of updates to cover, but before we get into it, I want to let you guys know that I started a new podcast show with my 80-year-old millionaire investor friend. I'll put a link to it down below. It's called The Stock Room, so make sure to check that out if you want to talk more about investing, finance, how to save money, and how to make more money. So anyways, President Donald Trump on Sunday joined progressive lawmakers in calling for another round of direct stimulus checks, and he says that he wants to get it passed right now in his final weeks of office before the end of this year. A group of bipartisan lawmakers unveiled a $908 billion compromise measure earlier this month in an effort to end the stalemate on the second stimulus bill, but the problem is that this bill didn't include any sort of direct stimulus payments in it. It only included boosted unemployment benefits. However, Bernie Sanders, an independent, and 5 progressive Democrats in the upper chamber quickly opposed this $908 billion bill because it excluded the direct stimulus checks in it, and they proposed another bill that would include $1,200 checks for adults and $500 checks for dependents. Trump joined their call for stimulus checks as the pandemic continued to worsen this past weekend across the U.S., and even though now we're starting to see the vaccine being rolled out across the country, there's still a lot of work to do, and they still need to get more support out to the American people. In an interview on Sunday Fox News, President Trump said that right now, I want to see checks for more money than they're currently talking about going to the people. He went on to say that he's pushing for it very hard. He wants to get it passed before the end of the year. Now, if the Democrats really wanted to do the deal, they'd sign off on it and pass it because it already has enough bipartisan support in it. The bipartisan group of House and Senate negotiators that has struggled to finalize the $908 billion proposal finally made a decision on Sunday, and they're making a dramatic change that should be able to help the bill pass quickly. They decided to split the $908 billion package into 2 separate proposals. One bill is going to be a $748 billion proposal, which includes money for small businesses, jobless benefits, and vaccine distribution, among a number of other aspects. And the other package would be $160 billion for state and local government aid that includes liability protections for businesses and other entities. Those are the 2 biggest sticking points right now: the money for state and local governments and the money for liability protections for small businesses. Currently, it's uncertain how many senators and House members from the group will sign on the second bill, this smaller $160 billion bill, but the expectation is that the first proposal, the one worth $748 billion, will have a wide support for it, and it will get passed because they've already agreed on all the aspects in this bill, and the areas that they didn't agree on, they simply took those out, put them in a separate bill. 6 senators were holding calls Sunday afternoon to try to reach an agreement on the second stimulus package after weeks of a stalemate. Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy told CNN's Jake Tapper on State of the Union that they're going to introduce a bill later today, and he explained how the leadership can discard it, and he can't control that, but what he does think is that the bill will have a lot of bipartisan support in it, and there's no reason why it shouldn't pass. It includes everything they've already agreed on. The areas they don't agree on, they took out. And finally, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin had an important meeting yesterday and spoke for half an hour Sunday afternoon, while Pelosi continued to press for state and local government aid and asked for changes to how liability protections have been proposed in the bill by Republicans. Nancy Pelosi's spokesperson Drew Hamil came out on Twitter yesterday and said that the speaker believes at this time, when the virus is surging, that the need for state and local government funding is even more important now than ever before, because she said it's the state's responsibility for distributing and administering the vaccine. He went on to say that healthcare workers and first responders are risking their lives every day to save lives of American people, and at the same time, they're at risk of losing their jobs because of state and local government funding. So that is why Nancy Pelosi is pushing for this so hard. On top of this, Democratic House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer has signaled willingness to actually drop state and local government aid in exchange for direct stimulus checks. He said, as same as Bernie Sanders, that they want to get direct payments out to the American people, and now he explained how he and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi have spent a lot of time on the phone recently, and he's hopeful that this coming week they will be able to act and get a bill passed with direct payments in it. So ultimately, he said Democrats aren't going to get everything they want. Republicans aren't going to get everything they want. But they should be able to come to an agreement on the bipartisan aspects that they do agree on this week. And we should be able to see a bill passed by the end of this week. So anyways, that's what's going on with the second stimulus check and second stimulus package as of Monday, December 14th, 2020. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 2 free stocks, Don't forget to get your 4 free stocks, each valued up to $1,600, when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.